going to mention I was going to go in and mention Our Lady of Zeitoun. I don't know if you've ever heard of Our Lady of Zeitoun. So this is Zeitoun is a suburb of Cairo, and in 1918, there was a man there who owned some land in Zeitoun, and he was visited by the Blessed Virgin in a dream, Bob. Our Lady told him to build a Coptic church honoring her on this land. Now, a Coptic church is a separate church. They're not Catholic, but they have all the Catholic rites. It's like the Eastern Orthodox, but it's another branch of that. Okay. And so she says, build a Coptic church on this land, and I will come and bless it 50 years later. So what happens then? 50 years later, in 1968, she appears in Zeitoun on the roof of this church and at night. And they would see this glowing lady on the roof of this church. She appeared 90 times up there, Bob. And it's called St. Mary's Coptic Church. She appeared from April 2nd to 1968 to May of 1971. Appeared over 90 times. At least 1 million Egyptians saw her. 1 million Egyptians saw her on the roof of that church. So it's very unusual for Mary to be able to be seen by so many people, because usually when Mary appears, she appears to the three children in Fatima, or she appears to Bernadette and Lourdes. She appears to children. She appears in Medjugorje to a few people and a few people and a few. No. This one she was seen by 1 million people, Bob, and all foreigners saw her. The people that mostly saw her up there were Muslims. Yeah. They were Muslims. And this happened right after the 6-Day War between Israel and Egypt. So there was a time of turmoil there. Now, they believe, Bob, that the church was the site where the Holy Family stayed when they were in Egypt.
And that's something. That's cool.
That's what they believe.
That's really cool.
That was the site where Mary stayed in Egypt. Man, and then there were doves that would appear above her, and the doves were illuminated as well.
Wow.
There were a lot of miraculous healings. The first guy that saw her was a mechanic working across the street, and this guy. He thought he was seeing a jumper. He thought it was a nun that was getting ready to jump off the church. So he runs to get a priest to help. And this mechanic had gangrene in his finger, and he had it scheduled to be amputated the following day. And when he pointed to Mary up on the top of the church, his finger was instantly healed.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool.
But there were many conversions, of course, mostly Muslim conversions. And I don't know if you know this, but Mary is the only woman name mentioned in the Quran.
Yeah, yep, I did know that.
The name Mary. Yep. Now they have her. Yep. They're mentioned as a Muslim, but there's a lot of parallels there. There's a lot of connection that can be made to that.
Yeah, she's very highly regarded in the Muslim faith, and also, Our Lady has a special place in her heart for the Muslims also, because it talks about that in Fatima. Our sure. Lady of Fatima talks about that. So, sure. But very, very interesting. I believe the name of the town Fatima was named after a Muslim princess, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, Fatima is actually the name of Muslim princess, and that's, so Our Lady does have a special fondness for the Muslim people because of that or whatever.
Sure,
So,
sure.
did you have
Go
more
ahead.
to say on that?
On Zeitoun, yeah. Let me just finish
Yeah,
it with
go ahead.
Zeitoun. So what they did, there was such a crowd there, and a lot of people would come and see this thing. They wanted to make sure that there was no the police and the people that were in charge of the town. They thought it was a projector. They thought someone was projecting this image up on top of this roof and freaking everybody out. So they ordered a blackout, Bob. 15 miles around this place. They turned out every single light. There could be no light in 15 miles of this place. And guess what? She got brighter.
There she is.
She got brighter. It got brighter. They couldn't find it. They couldn't find any projector. And she was even on TV.
Wow.
She was on Egyptian TV. And so everybody in that area saw Mary on television.
Wow. I wish we could find that on YouTube or something.
Yeah. Well, there's a teaching on Zeitoun. There are videos of it and stuff. You can
really?
look it up.
I'd like to see.
Oh
those.
yeah, there are videos of Mary up there. You can find them.
Yeah.
And so that's when the news reported when they did after they did that blackout and all this, they knew it wasn't fake. That's when the news got involved, and the news came in and they started recording everything, and of course they, the Coptic Church, recognized it as a miracle right away, pretty quickly after that, and it was never recognized. It was never commented on by the Catholic Church. They brought all the evidence to Pope Paul VI, and he was amazed by it and believed it himself, but they didn't comment on it. And the reason they didn't comment is because it was a Coptic church. They really don't have that authority. It's not a Catholic, it wasn't a Catholic apparition, so a Roman Catholic apparition, so they don't really have authority to say anything about it. So they just kind of stayed silent. But Pope Paul VI, yeah, he was freaked out by it. He believed it. Wow. So yeah, so that's the. I'll put a link in the bottom so you can see that video as well, on Mary in Zeitoun, where the Holy Family stayed while they were in Egypt.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's cool.